to this land of ours and fill a sportsman's dreams. Enjoy what nature holds for us, her bounty never ends. Getting back to basics with the practical sportsman. It's always an adventure, no matter where we go. From a favorite hunting spot to the hottest fishing hole. Outdoor life we all can share with family and friends. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman.
Hello, sportsmen. You know, a great day has passed by us already, and I'm sure many hunters have not been partaking on October 20th of Michigan's pheasant opening. There haven't been too many pheasants in the past few years. We've had some pretty tough years, but we found them this year. You'll never guess where. Not in the cornfields. No, we found them in the land of the giant cooties. That's right. We went. Well, anyway, you can figure out where we went. We did get some birds. We're going to give you that report plus a lot more. Stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost. You're watching The Practical Sportsman. When I was younger, pheasant season opened at 10 a.m. on opening day. Now it opens at daybreak. And this year we're trying a new area with Mark Raymond and John McGuire. Well, hardy pheasant hunters, this is supposed to be better than last year. At least should be. At least where we are. I don't think around the state from what I've heard. Pretty dismal pheasant hunting.
Yeah. Well, we're surrounded with beans here, and we got here just before dark, and right in from where we're at, we saw 2 roosters go down. So this is where we're going to start.
You're talking last night. You saw 2 roosters go down.
They shouldn't have moved yet.
Okay, you're from over in the Thumb area, Mark. Mm-hmm. But John is a local. Up in this area of the state. Well, we won't really pinpoint where we are, except the oil wells in the background might give some.
Kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
Gives it away, but we won't give it.
Somewhere in Isabella County. How's that?
Okay. Now, what is the strategy on this field? We have a big bean field here to our east.
Well, this morning, what we're looking at is about 33-acre field here. Part of it's been in the Pheasants Forever program, 4 years. The other half has been in it 2 years.
So it has not been mowed or anything?
Nothing. It's corn and sorghum out here. The biggest share is corn on the far side. But this morning, there they go right now. They're flying out.
Yep, I hear them.
Okay, they're just landing. This morning, what we're looking at here, Fred, is we're surrounded by about 140 acres of beans. They're going to come out of this cover into the beans and feed. This morning's opener, who knows? As you see, they're leaving right now. They're going to go out into the food plots.
Okay, but right now they're pushing that way because we're here.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to attack this field in what direction?
We're going to attempt to do is take the outside edge around the bean field and try to keep them into the center. And our final pass will come back through and hopefully we'll be into one of the best pheasant hunts ever.
Okay, so we're working a strategy, and you have your 2 boys here with us.
I have my 2 boys, Tim and Pat.
They're ready to go.
They're both anxious hunters. So.
Okay, well, we might as well put this microphone in my pocket, and we'll head out for the hunt. The 1997 pheasant opener. No, I didn't mean to do that. That's. But I still have my shells from last year, which are unused.
That was a rooster cackling.
Okay. Well, let's go do it. This could be fun. Hey, now I meant no disrespect by twirling my finger about this year's opener, but last year our hot spot was a bust. By the beans, we have 2 German Shorthairs, both young dogs. Bento over here, about 17 months old, and Greta. So a male and a female, and they're working their hearts out. Well, you can see here, expressway in the background. You'll see oil derricks from time to time as we swing around. We're up in the northern part of the southern Lower Peninsula. Pretty good temperature, huh, Johnny?
Oh, excellent.
About 36 degrees when we were getting breakfast. John mentioned that this grass was in the Pheasants Forever program, kind of like the CRP program for crops, but it's real thick grass. It hasn't been mowed in a couple years. So that's what makes a really good roosting cover for the pheasants. They can hold in here and run around and get away from the predators. That's the main thing, the hawks, foxes, those things that eat them year round. We only get a couple weeks to eat them. Greta, the young female short hair, is only 13 months old. This is her first wild pheasant hunt. Come on, Greta, hunt them up. Good girl. On point? We got a point?
No.
Yeah, well. She was looking good. Yep, she's taking off. There we go. Well, that's more shells than I shot last year. We deserve a round of non-applause for that shooting. But that was out there on the edge of the range. That was exciting though. That was a rooster, a wild rooster.
Hey, Fred.
They are here. I know.
One shell.
I trust you. Well, nobody can say we didn't get our chance. That was a wild ring-necked rooster flying against a cold October sky. A pretty sight, even though we all missed.
Yeah, in. Come on. Attaboy.
We walked and walked and walked, scouring the field, stomping the marsh grass. Finally, there was a little rectangular patch by a county road. The dogs made some false points. Birds had been there. John McGuire gives Greta the hand signal to break point and start hunting over this way. John met Mark Raymond a couple years ago, started taking dog training lessons from him. Mark not only trains hunting dogs, but he trains dog owners on how to train their dogs. Right now the birds are running on the ground.
He's running. Yep, he's tracking. They're running. Rooster!
Finally, a rooster comes down. Hey, it should have. 3 of us were shooting.
Oh, you did? Papa! You gotta give? Showing this way. Oh, good girl. Sit. Sit.
Greta was pretty excited about her first wild rooster. Young Pat was happy he got it, but none of us had any idea another rooster was sitting about 30 feet away.
That's the old prestige way, right?
That is.
Field peppers out the way.
That looks good.
Not my bird, but I'll carry it for you. Pat, thank you.
Good work, Pat.
Congratulations.
Whoa! Whoa! Another one!
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Now
That is action!
that is the darndest thing. We've been walking over what, 80 acres, 100 acres?
Who got that?
Go figure. Go figure. Dang. Well, there could be more right in here.
Good boy!
Who pointed that? Were they both over there?
They were both there. Come on, pitch up.
Hopefully everything that we
Bento give.
Yeah. This is
Oh, that's a nice bird, too.
40 years ago, it was easy to get your limit of wild roosters most anywhere in southern Michigan. Today, large numbers of pheasants are only found here and there. Mark Raymond has watched the pheasant population slide over the years. That's why he trains bird dogs. Your chances for success skyrocket if a good dog is working on your behalf. Now take a look at this pheasant, winging its way to thicker cover. We tell the younger hunters how it used to be, how roosters would fill the sky on opening day. Yeah, they think we're telling stories. We're not. Pheasants used to be the king of game birds in Michigan. Hopefully someday our kids will be able to see it like it used to be. Well, the bottom line is we had a good opening day. But from reports we've heard, pheasants were few and far between in most of what used to be good pheasant territory. So what happened? Where are the pheasants? Well, back in the 70s, the DNR was blaming farming practices for eliminating the grassy and weedy areas where pheasants roost and nest. But today, a lot of these farms have huge fallow fields and woodlots and fence rows. The habitat is fine, but the birds aren't there. For several years, we taped our pheasant opener at Brett Ramey's farm near Charlotte. It was ideal habitat. We'd see 75 or 100 birds on opening day. The past 2 years, Brett said the pheasants disappeared. Last year, he didn't shoot one rooster on his farm. And what about that Sichuan pheasant program? Remember the Chinese black-necked pheasants that were supposed to revitalize the genetics of Michigan pheasants? Well, that $1 million experiment was a complete bust. Most of the radio collars from the Sichuans were found near fox dens. Which brings us to the heart of the problem. During the pheasant heydays, predators were hunted and trapped in great numbers for the specific purpose of protecting our numbers of pheasants, grouse, rabbits, all of our small game, and we called that scientific game management. And it worked. The Conservation Department had a bounty program where they paid for predator carcasses. And many predators were trapped, and the trappers made lots of money selling the furs. Well, soon after the Conservation Department ended the bounties, the bottom dropped out of the fur market. And hawks and owls were then given complete protection. And now the high population of raccoons and skunks and opossums eat the eggs in game bird nests. The foxes and coyotes eat the adults, and hawks clean up in the spring on the baby game birds as they scurry around on the ground. So instead of having lots of pheasants and not many predators, we have lots of predators and not many pheasants. Now, that's a balance of nature that's not difficult to understand. If you like to see more predators than pheasants, you should be happy. But if you'd like to see more pheasants than predators, well, we need to change the balance. Just talking about it, though, won't do a thing. We know that deer are afraid of fresh human scent. If the wind blows over your body and picks up your sweat, your body oils, and your breath, it carries these molecules through the air to a deer's nose 40 or 50 yards away. Well, that deer will probably snort and run off. Now, no one doubts that. That's why hunting with the wind in your face is the best tactic. The deer can never smell you if the breeze is blowing from the deer towards you. But there's more controversy about how much scent you leave as you walk through the woods and how fresh that scent has to be to scare deer. Now, we know that old scent blows away, but how long that takes is somewhat of a mystery. Hunters like me don't really care because I hunt on the ground and I move my blind, so I'm always facing the wind or using a crosswind. But bow hunters who have to hunt a particular tree stand they've put in a tree and don't have the luxury of easily changing that location are more concerned about disguising their human scent. Tom Nelson from Anderson Archery is a tree stand hunter who tries to make himself scent-free rather than depending on the wind to carry his scent away from the deer. Now, if you're that type of hunter, Tom Nelson can answer your question, what kind of boots should I wear if I don't want a deer to be spooked by my footprints?
Whether I'm out bow hunting or hanging a tree stand like I am this morning, you'll always find me with a pair of rubber boots on, like these knee-high burley boots. Not only do they keep my feet warm and dry, but they also keep all my scent in. That's my main reason for wearing these rubber boots, is to stay scent-free as possible. When you're walking through the grass or bump up and get some brush on the way in and out, you're going to leave some human scent behind. Leather boots don't keep that scent in. Only rubber boots do. They might not be 100% scent-free, but they'll keep most of it in there. I've seen deer walk over my tracks where I've been several hours before with leather boots on, pick up that human scent and take off. But then again, I've had deer within minutes of walking down a trail with rubber boots on come across my scent, never pick me up and keep on moving. I go as far as to take a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, fill it with water and baking soda, and before I go hunting, I'll dip my boots down into that bucket just to rinse them off every time, just because of my hands may be touching these boots when I put them on or whatever. So I try to stay as scent-free as possible. These boots, like I've got on today, are thinly insulated. They're great for early October, and they make them with up to 800 grams of insulation, so you can wear them even in the late December season. So wear them year-round, and you'll be a better bow hunter.
Don't give them any line, Dave. Northern pike are exciting to catch because they're a vicious fish. They hit hard, they fight hard. Pike also have a mouthful of needle-sharp teeth that can cut monofilament fishing line in a flash. Professor Finns is often asked, do you have to use a steel leader for northern pike?
I always use steel leader when I'm using plastic, wood, and steel artificial lures, casting or trolling, which are going fast. The pike have to react quick. If they don't have time to look at the leader, it doesn't really make any difference. If I'm still fishing with minnows, I'll probably use a highly abrasive resistant monofilament, just from the standpoint that the type pike might have a minute to 10 minutes or half an hour even in the wintertime on the tip up to really, really watch that minnow close and look at everything and maybe be a little bit scared of all the extra hardware.
Yeah, there he is.
Page 38 of the Michigan Hunting Guide has a small section on recreational trespass, which says, permission is required from the landowner or leaseholder before you may hunt on any farmlands or connected woodlots or any fenced or posted private lands. Well, the question often comes up, what if I'm not hunting and I don't even have my gun? I'm just going onto private land to recover a deer that I just shot. Attorney Salgani says, with or without a gun, you are hunting if your purpose is to recover game.
In a case like this, having a gun is irrelevant. The fact is, shooting a deer does not give you the right to trespass on someone's property. If you shoot a deer, it runs onto private property, you should get the private property owner's permission to get on his property.
Rooster!
If you were lucky enough to get a pheasant on opening day, Barbara Conklin from Fairborn, Ohio has a super recipe for pheasant cheese soup that starts by boiling a pheasant until it's tender. Now, while it's on the stove, combine some chopped carrots, celery, onion, and mushrooms in a saucepan with a couple tablespoons of butter. Cover and cook over low heat until the vegetables are tender. Then stir in a quarter cup of flour, add 2 cups of milk, 1.5 cups of the broth from the boiled pheasant, and 1.5 cups of cubed cooked pheasant meat, and then a little dash of paprika. Now cook this as you keep stirring it until it's thick and bubbly. Now the last thing you do is stir in 1.5 cups of shredded American cheese, and there you go, a soup fit for a king. Now if opening day was not kind to you, this recipe works with chicken or turkey or squirrel, but you can still call it Barbara Conklin's Pheasant Cheese Soup. The complete recipe is in the October-November Outdoor Digest magazine. Here's a home video opening day story from Saturday, October 11th, the duck and goose opener in southern Michigan. Magnum decoys assembled in the dark, corn stalks gathered and carried into the field where the hunters would hide right amongst the decoys. Each hunter lies in a camouflaged blanket, then is covered with corn stalks to look like a normal part of the farm field. This is hunting very similar to the way the Indians did it years and years ago. Stealth, camouflage, trickery. The Indians knew that to fool Mother Nature, you had to get up pretty early in the morning, and that's what goose hunting is all about. Jim Gasta from Bay City and his 4 sons, Chris, EJ, Chad, and Jeremy, lie in the field together. Soon the honking of geese grows louder and louder. Goose hunting action on opening day is fast and furious as one flock comes in after another, honking all the way. Only one goose falls from that flock. These are the giant Canada geese, larger than the average goose, but all too common to southern Michigan. They've become a nuisance around golf courses and residential lakes.
Everybody got their shooting, and everybody got a bird. It's 1 for 1. Pretty good day.
The Gasta boys from Bay City, thanks for your video on your opening day for geese. But take a look at this buck. This buck was taken in the neighboring Jackson County. Daryl Zuck from Eaton Rapids got this. It was taken on opening day last year, 11 a.m. Daryl got it with a 12-gauge H&R single-shot shotgun. This buck had 9 antler points, a 21-inch outside spread. The tallest tine was 13, can you believe it, inches. This buck qualified for one of our MSDA hunting awards 2 out of 3 ways, but not by points. So, hunting season is here. There's lots to do. Be sure you get outdoors. It's a great place to be. I want to see you back here next week. You got a 6x6.
Yep.
And how old are you?
14.
14 and drew this bull permit.
My dad's been trying for like 20 years to get one.
And he hasn't even been drawn for a permit.
Nope.
And was it your first year applying?
Yep. First year hunting.
Have you hunted deer before? Or?
Oh, this year, but I didn't see anything.
And so this was in December.
Yep.
And you had a year of not getting anything.
Yep.
Your dad took you up.
Up to Vanderbilt to hunt it, and my dad's friend Ted and my grandpa went up there to help me. We went scouting around for like, I think it was Saturday, yeah. Saturday and opening morning, we went out where we saw some fresh tracks. They let us out and we started tracking them, but like 20 minutes later, the truck came back and started honking the horn. So they picked us up, went down, dropped us off. We walked back, saw 2 bulls standing there, 2 of them, and one was looking right at me. So I couldn't take a shot at that one, so I kneeled down, put pin on his chest, and shot this one. Went 20 yards and dropped. And we stayed there for about 5 minutes, but it felt like 20. And we went down, saw it, and I was amazed because I didn't think it was this big.
How much did it weigh?
520.
Man, that's one big animal. That starts your hunting career,
Yep.
huh?
I don't know how I'm gonna top this.
Well, I don't either, but I'm sure you'll work on it.
Yep.
Well, congratulations, Scott Reed from Bath. Way to go.